Well, good afternoon, good evening, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It's round 11. It is time for Las Vegas. It is round 11 of this championship. One round to go after this one, and CPI can take that all-important championship tonight. 23 points they need to gain to take this championship, and well, it's going to be an absolute blast. There is no one alongside me tonight. It is just me on my lonesome. But, CPI for 24 points they need to get the championship ahead of NLR. But plenty of talking points going into this round. Plenty of places up for grabs in this championship too. That cannot be understated in the slightest. But tonight, it is that Las Vegas Grand Prix. And what a race this is going to be. No doubt about that one. But a couple of minutes time and we'll be getting into that one. But firstly, let's look at your standings. As I alluded to them, CPI just need 24 points to win this championship. If they're able to get that tonight, then that is it. Done and dusted ahead of NLR. But going to be a hard task for them necessarily, especially with some teams doing very, very well as of late. So they need to, not be outscored by those all-important 24 points. Just waiting on invites to probably be sent out. And once I get one of them, we can get this race. We can probably end away, but there in the championship, looking very, very good. As I constantly need to be reminded to put myself in Do Not Disturb mode on Discord. Rookie errors, rookie errors. But, just need that invite. We'll get this sort of looking all underway, but your calendar, well, we've got one round after this one. It's Brazil. It's going to be an absolute sensational end to that season, but obviously Las Vegas to come. The most recent track on the Formula 1 calendar, and well, 17 turns around the 3.8 mile circuit, and up with two big DRS zones. Overtaking there is certainly not going to be too bad. Your main overtaking opportunities, turn 1, as well as turn 4 and turn 15. They're all great overtaking opportunities around this circuit. You'll hit VMAX on these cars down that long straight. Turn 11 though, also a great overtaking opportunity as well. So plenty of opportunities for overtakes around here, but also going to be plenty of good times around this circuit. But 2.8 miles of this one to come. Invites have now been sent out, so we're getting progress here already, but this race is going to be an absolute barnstormer. No surprises at all, and well, there's not going to be any real guesses about who is going to be looking to maximise here. It's obviously going to be CPI trying to get the better of this one if they can, and well, if they're able to, it's going to be a great time for them, but got a long race ahead of us here. But this lobby getting set up, getting underway, not too long until we're on the horizon here, but it's going to be a real good race. No doubt about that one in the slightest here. But looking at this lobby, we are looking very full. Looking very good as things stand. Just waiting on a few more drivers, I believe, but in a couple of seconds we'll be getting this properly underway. And well, around 11, going to be firmly sorted. No RCR for this race. We will only have 18 drivers in this lobby, but 18 drivers. It's going to be a great time here. No one alongside me. It's going to be pure vibes, but it's going to be some great vibes here. But thank you very much to everyone who has already hopped onto this stream. We've got a plenty of action coming your way in the next couple of minutes, but I think most importantly is the drivers beginning to ready up now. We're not looking too far away here. Everyone getting given that signal to get this weekend underway, this action-packed time. And what better way to spend your Sunday evening than watching this action here around what an iconic circuit this will definitely be becoming in the future. But yeah, looking very good for this one. Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the chat as well. For who you think is going to be looking great coming out of this one. There's plenty of battles in this championship, but obviously the main one we want to draw your attention to, that battle for the title. But ETA have been looking good. They're not far behind LDL, IRT, or even NLR. So, you know, ETA, a later level to this championship, could be as high as second if they get 2 great rounds here with others around them faltering. But not looking too likely for them. But just going to be such a great round, this one. So get your predictions in the chat. But I have heard in my ears that now the lobby has readied up, so a couple of seconds more, and this is getting away, and qualifying, we firmly underway down the Las Vegas Strip. As I said, you'll hit VMAX there, which is about 108, not 118, plenty more than that, 120-ish miles an hour you can hit down that straight, which is literally the upper limit of these cars. They cannot go any higher realistically due to the downforce and things that they generate. So, you know, we'll definitely be seeing probably a few lower drag setups here, but going to be interesting to see what we get as now qualifying getting properly underway. Just going to wait until there's actually a car out on track, because once we get one of them, that's when the fun will really begin. And I believe we are about to get a car on track, so let's take your track side for this, well, penultimate round of this season. Wow, here we are. It is a very, very beautiful nighttime Las Vegas, and you couldn't ask for anything better. Here we are. It is round number 11 of this championship, and what better place to have this 11th round than Las Vegas. Such a great track to have plenty of action at, but going to be a barnstormer race this one. But here we are, the first laps, well, our laps beginning to get underway here. Obviously, get those predictions in chat for pole position. Felix 1 is the first out of the pit lane, and I will just betting in to the track as things stand, trying to keep on top of everything and make sure that we get this race weekend underway nice and smoothly, but shortly followed there by Yoen for ET8 here, so looking very, very nice in this one. But a return of Gatkowski for CPI, which just, you know, it's been very, you haven't seen too much of them, unfortunately, CPI as of late, but great to see them return to the championship. And well, with them back, it's going to be great to see as that, well, the Las Vegas Strip sets a light here for the ending of this championship, but maybe a return to form on the horizon then for CPI, with Gatkowski being back, because that man brought them a lot of good form in the early portion of the season. But this final couple of corners, this final chicane and S section here, very crucial to set up the beginning of your hot lap here. As you see, he won't go back onto the brakes up until the turn number 1, so very important you get a good exit out of him. You'll see him approach down in towards turn number 1 now. He'll go down into that about 204 miles an hour. Lovely done. And you see they've left margin there on the track limits. This is just the banker lap times here to get this qualifying session underway. You don't want to push it too much here, but you'll see on the exit here, the Ferrari there just slightly having to move out of the way there. I believe that is Niseki there for LDL, but you see Felix 1 now running his way up towards the end of Sector 1 now, and we enter kind of what people describe as the pig's foot. They say this track looks a bit like a pig, and well, it looks like an upside down pig, no doubt about that one. And now coming towards the exit of that section, which obviously has the Las Vegas MSG sphere in the middle of that, and well, nicely done down there as we head down this next sequence of tracks and into another very tricky braking zone here, because you're moving so soon before it. And now the toe from his teammate. Surely this will be working to his benefit ever so slightly, because, well, Slipstream is going to be so powerful down here, as you see now, hitting 220 miles an hour, 222, 223. Won't get any faster than that, but that Slipstream coming in very, very nicely, and probably practicing a little bit for later on in this qualifying session when they'll want to maximise it as much as possible. But there, through the final couple of bends here, up to the exit now. Felix 1 about to run up to the line now, and well, he is certainly setting the first flying lap time of this session. Hasn't invalidated his first lap, uses all of his battery there, and it's 1:31.281. But where are the likes of Yoen going to go? He's about to come across the line. What can he do for ET8? They've been a team on such fine form in recent weeks since they've joined the championship. They've only had 1 week where they've not looked the best. Well, a 1:31.003 is a great initial lap time, but beaten by Gatkowski for Mercedes and CPI. So not bad there. IRT Phil slots into third. So the lap time from Felix 1 not looking the most representative as EPL getting a seam there. Not up to the top there, but not doing too bad at all as, well, the initial lap times not looking too bad. The Seki there goes into fifth there as plenty more cars really begin to try and set these timing towers alight. As Aguado goes at sixth for DLX. That's a team obviously to keep an eye on. They've not been the best in this championship, but continuing to try and see what they can do, and well, not doing too bad at the moment, and well, not looking terrible at all. They've got 26 points on the board now in 10th place in this championship. Not bad at all for them, but here we go, continuing this qualifying session. Plenty of times on the board here now, and well, NLR really need to step it up a little bit here, but Ethan, you know, now trying to get that second lap time onto the, well, his team's second lap time onto the board. He would have benefited from a tow from his teammate Felix 1, and now he'll come across the line, goes 6th place, so not bad opening lap times from NLR, but CPI definitely got the better of them on that particular occasion. As now keep an eye on what ET8 can do. They've got their second car coming across the line in a couple of moments time, and you'll see them using the track limits a lot in that final chicane. That's because you can get away with using those track limits a lot more than you can at other points on other circuits, so I'll take as much benefit there as they can. As there you see Sergio going up to the top there, and well, nicely done there towards the top with second and third for ETA. And I said that's, you know, what they'll be looking to do. They want to try and see if they can get a better couple places better in this championship. Given they were a late arrival, it does not look too bad for them. Says, yeah, this qualifying session will continue. RVL, they're looking to try and get something good out of this one too. Remember, it's points for the top 15. So, you know, if you, well, get a decent-ish result and get a few places better than other people, you're starting inside the points, which is a great place to be. As you'll see, you know, RVL with Killer Storm and Fana Spin. And well, they're going to see if they can get a bit of a benefit of a slipstream going here. They use this a lot in real life Formula 1, and they'll be using it to try and practice for the actual race as well as later on in this qualifying session when they can really benefit from it a little bit more. RVL not getting it right necessarily on that occasion, but doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be a bad lap time at all. In fact, if anything, might be encouragement that the future lap times are going to be that much better, as now around the final bend they will come, and it goes 8th. Not a bad lap time there for them. And that is pretty much qualifying, well, the first round in qualifying done and dusted. And well, Gatkowski obviously leading the field as things stand, and well, on this outlap for his second flying round. You see him here revving out as much as he can in third gear. That's simply to burn as much fuel as possible, and this is a tactic you can do to make your car ever so slightly lighter, even if it's just by a few grams. It does work. But here we are. Second one's getting underway now as well, Lou here for VMV, and this is a team that obviously dearly wants some better string of form too. They've currently not got too many points in this championship, only 114 to their name. They're in a good battle here with EPL in behind as well, so that's their closest rival. If they don't want to lose that spot, they're going to need to try and do a little bit better, because EPL at the moment with 13th and 14th is a little bit better than VMB's at 15th and 18th in this current order. But Lou looking to try and change that through sector 2 and towards sector number 3. He will now go, and well, on the exit here and towards the end of this sector 2, he will get that toe from his teammate who's on the out lap, and working very, very nicely in his favour, as now he'll continue down the strip once more. And well, looking very, very nicely indeed there. Pulls out nicely from that toe, and we'll have got a decent amount of benefit from it, but the benefit not too great. Undoubtedly, just due to the timing you need to get right. But coming around that final bend now, and up towards the line now, Lou will set his first lap time and will go 16th place, just outside of those starting points paying positions. But let's have a look at Gatkowski. This is a man who wants to try and improve and wants to try and continue his charge continue to cement that charge he has on P1. But you see there that RVL slightly in the way, possibly. I believe that was Killer Storm. He was slightly in the way and hasn't helped Gatkowski one bit on this flying lap. He's a 10th and a half down, unfortunately, but if he's able to get a good toe from his slipstream, it could help him. But let's keep an eye on Neseki here. He's getting towed by his teammate Nico here. 11th and 12th for this team, respectively, at the moment. But if they're able to get a good toe here, half a second is the margin that they've managed to find on this particular lap. And if that continues to translate through these final couple of bends, this could take him to the top of the timing sheets if he's able to keep that margin and gain a little bit through this sequence of corners here. But now you see everyone in that final couple of corners really filtering and panning their way out. But now up to the line, doesn't improve there for Noseki, but next across the line will be Gatkowski, who does not improve. That's a very crucial lap time for him and CPI, but IRT Phil can't improve either, so unfortunately for him, not going to be a great start to his second flying runs either, as he will have to unfortunately settle for a worse position than he might have wanted. But Nassim here, he's in 14th place, he's gaining a couple of attempts here too. He could go up to 10th, and he does go up to 10th here, and beautifully done for him and EPL. But this qualifying session looking very, very close here at the moment, not much margin separating anyone in this field, but Yohan won't benefit here as he's invalidated on his hot lap, but he will still come through and finish this lap just because he wants to give his teammate a bit of a toe, give him that advantage and benefit that he was able to get himself on his first flying lap. Will certainly work to his favour. There's a few more movers towards the back of this grid, but as things stand, not doing too bad at all in this qualifying session. Plenty of drivers moving up and down the order as Aguado goes up to 6th place. That's a great lap time for him in this qualifying session. But keep an eye on the likes of Sergio here, Yohan, and Naseki, as well as Phil, because they've had some great qualifying form here, and just generally have had some good qualifying form. I believe Sergio there hasn't qualified. Nico to the top of the timesheets by nearly a tenth of a second there as well, so great lap time from him. That's definitely a toe from his teammate coming into his advantage here, as Michelle XB goes up to 4th place there towards the end of that one. Where will Casper Fat go? I believe he's getting a toe from his teammate. No, he isn't. He's coming to the pit lane as well as Ethan to the top of the timesheets there at 8.92. But keep an eye on Sergio here. He's getting a massive toe here from his teammate Yohan here. Down the straight they head towards the end of sector number 3. Turns 15, 16 and 17 coming up. You see them pull to the left-hand side just before the braking zone to get them that, give them all that downforce back, and to, make sure that they can take the corner in the optimal way that they'd love to. But up to the line now for Sergio here around the final bend to the top of the timesheets by a tenth and a bit. And lovely done here for ETA, top of the timesheets. What a lap time there for them. And it's a great start to what will be these final runs in qualifying now. But a couple drivers still setting a lap time here, and I'm not sure quite who is on a good lap and quite who's on a maybe slightly poorer one. But neither of the RVLs look to be improving on this lap time here. But Raphael here certainly might be able to benefit quite a lot here. If he's on a hot lap, which he doesn't appear to be, he could have benefited quite hugely from the benefit of Slipstream. But thank you, Karumi, for popping ahead and saying hello. Great to see you. Obviously, you've had some great pace previously for LDL, so great to see you in the Twitch chat, representing and probably waving the flag a bit for your team. Nico obviously in third and Naseki in seventh, but these runs, well, firmly finished for the second run, and well, into the pit lane they go. A change of tyres once more on the horizon, and then these final flying runs gonna come, and they're gonna come thick and fast, because IRT Phil is going to be kicking them off for IRT, and with both cars 8th and 14th, it's not best time for the Papaya outfit. Obviously, to use the in-game cars, but looking very, very good whilst doing it. IRT, just, you know, if they're able to get a good result here, that would be very, very meaningful for them. But as things stand, they have got a long way to go in this qualifying and race session, and plenty of time to try and maximise the result here. But this outlap, really, really important for them. But just, if they're able to get a good result here, as Aguado retires from the session, he's not going to go out again. Interesting there for Haas and DLX there. Very interesting choice. Not sure I agree with that. Wow. Into the final 2 minutes of qualifying here around the Las Vegas circuit here. And well, the newest circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, providing some close margins between this field, but IRT Phil leading us away on these final flying laps. You see here traffic getting a bit in the way here, and possibly maybe throwing him off a little bit here, because into these braking zones, especially these tricky ones here, cars being in the way, even if they're not necessarily on the racing line and just off to the side, they will still maybe slightly throw you off here. But IRT Phil not doing a half bad job. He is improving by about half a tenth there as he goes through the sector 1 timing line, and now he has a tow from his teammate to look forward to. He's got to plant the throttle down here on the exit here, and heading down the Las Vegas Strip. You see some of the most famous hotels and attractions around here. The Bellagio Hotel, obviously just there as well as Caesar's Palace. So many famous buildings, such iconic history around the Las Vegas Strip. Now to Phil, we're looking to try and make some for him and his team, but on this particular occasion, he's coming around the final couple of bends, and it doesn't seem like he managed to maximise that toe and slipstream, so won't be able to gain all of that advantage that maybe he might have wanted. Gatkowski has retired from the session. He's not going to improve in this one, as unfortunately for him, it's not going to be the best time for him. But Naseki is improving marginally here. Will he get an improvement out of it? He won't come the line, and unfortunately that's not going to be great for him and his team. What about Yoan, who's improving by about a tenth there through the sector 2 timing line, now going up towards the end of sector 3. What's it going to be? It's 2.5 tenths there. His teammate pulls out of the slipstream, nicely done into the braking zone. This could be a man who might jump quite a few places here versus his teammate, who's still yet to set his final flying lap in this one. But if he's able to make a big jump, that could be sensational for them and ETA if they're able to even increase their margin further. But Yoan up to the line, goes second fastest in this qualifying session. Not a bad lap time from him. Nico beginning his final flying lap too. Michelle XP hasn't improved on his. In fact, not many drivers have improved on their final flying laps, but here Pablo Feds goes with a 2-step improvement, doesn't go up any places, unfortunately, but that will not necessarily mean all too much for him. But now the IRT doing the reverse, the switcheroo, as now Casper Flag will take the benefit of the of the toe, the slipstream, the DRS off of his teammate, and now he'll get a huge 5/10 of a second down here. If this lap time goes onto the board, that could be a monumental shift in terms of where he is in this grid. He's currently 14th with a 1:31.4. If he gets that lap time, he could be as high as 4th on this grid. But up to the line now comes Casper Flack here for IRT. Goes second! He splits the two ET8s. What a lap time from him. And IRT beautifully executed there. Nico, he goes up to 4th place there with a final last effort from him and his team. Ethan hasn't managed to improve on his lap time. Can Sergio improve on his, though? He's not going to have a toe from his teammate. In fact, he's backed off from his lap. He's 28 seconds down versus where he needs to be. But that is it, I think. Qualifying done and dusted for this race. In fact, actually one to go. Michelle XB goes up to the line. He allegedly improved by 2.5 tenths of a second, but doesn't actually get the lap time. So not sure if that was a red herring. The game maybe having a bit of a moment, but qualifying is done. It's ET8 on pole. Maybe that's a bit expected at this point, but is it expected that they would be separated by IRT? What a team to come in second place. Very unlikely, I think, for them to have got into that position and into that place, but great to see them there. No doubt about that one in the slightest. But qualifying has been great. It's Sergio on pole for ET8, but Casper Flack in second place here. What a result for him and his team. But all of that recap, analysis, everything you could possibly want. It's going to be so great to talk and build up to this race. I don't believe any penalties were handed out for illegal blocking. I think we're going straight into this. I didn't see any penalties. So unless I have been blind, which is possible. It's very possible that I've been blind, but it is Sergio on pole position here for this race, and what a race it is looking likely to be. What a driver, and what a drive to take that P1 position. A driver that just hasn't been around all too much, but Casper Flack in second for IRT, but ET8 with a 1 and 3 there, courtesy of Yoen, who's in third place. Nico in 4th, Ethan 5th, Gatkowski and Michelle XB there in 6th and 7th respectively for CPI. IRT Phil in 8th place, Naseki there in 9th for LDL, and Aguado finishing in 10th for DLX. Felix 1 just missing out of those top 10 positions. Straight in to this race, I have been told, music to my ears. I can literally promise you so much. Makes my life so much easier. But whilst we got a couple moments, let's have a little look back over this track that we're heading to tonight. Las Vegas Grand Prix. What a track it's going to be. 17 turns, 3.8 miles around the Las Vegas Strip. So many things to look at around this fan favourite circuit to an extent. Main overtaking opportunities. Turn 1, turn 4, turn 17, but also turn 11 and 12. Great opportunities there as well. Plenty of opportunities for an overtake here. And by the way, Sky Knight. Wow, very, very close to being right with your top 3 predictions. Because one wrong, brilliant, so good, so close. I'm keeping an eye, don't worry, on the in-game action. Not going to make sure we miss any of this because I know how much that would look very, very silly. But got a little bit of time until that properly happens. I'm just waiting. Drivers got to sort their setups out, sort the strategies out. And we're used to that in racing and league racing. That always happens. Everyone's got to sort their strategies out, sort their setups out. Just make sure everything is top notch going into this race. And what a top notch race it is going to be. The Las Vegas Strip, brilliant circuit. And here we go. It is time to get this one underway. Here we are, trackside, 5 red lights. And it is lights out, away we go. It is ETA on pole position here, round 11. Underway here around Las Vegas. And you see the barrel into turn number 1. And brilliantly held there. Casper Flack trying to battle here for the race lead. In fact, he is nearly alongside for the race lead. But a little snap on the rear won't allow him to take that one, unfortunately. But Ethan looking there very handy in 4th place, going side by side by Nico. Nearly 3 wide here as we head down into turn number 4. In fact, it is 3 wide into turn number 4. Ethan comes out the worst of that one. He's down to 6th place. Gatkowski up to 4th, though. He's gained massively out of this one, but around the outside goes Ethan there, attempting on Nico. Gatkowski battles there with Nico through that section there. Around the NSG sphere they go, and towards the end of Sector 1. Such a technical section that a couple of corners is. And now they can relax a little bit as they run out towards the end of this lap already around here. Such a quick lap time around this circuit. And well, after not too long, looking very, very good here for them. IRT fell down to 9th there. Aguado gaining 2 places on that opening lap. He's gained on the second and IRT Phil. Nico down 2 places there as well. But starting compounds very, very important around here. And if you want to have a little look at them, well, there you go. Gatkowski on a set of soft, but many of the field on hards. Everyone on the hards except Lou down in 16th place. So that's why this pace is going to be a little bit equal. But keep an eye on that man, Gatkowski. He's going to be a man on an absolute mission, trying to gain a few places here. But at the moment, he's under pressure a little bit from Ethan, who's in behind and trying to get that 4th place back. He held briefly in the early stages of this race, but lost in that 3-wide moment between himself, Nico, and Gatkowski. But that man, he's on the soft. He's going to have a lot more pace and a lot more benefit from it. And well, keep an eye, because Gatkowski will certainly be making some dives in the next couple of laps, and maybe even the next couple of corners, because that pace on those fresh, sticky, soft tyres is going to be very, very big, and the advantage going to be so, so large from him. But cannot wait to see what these guys are able to manage and muster in this particular one. And well, it's looking very, very good as we now continue to get all of this action underway here. And now Gatkowski going to be needing to make a move here in the next couple of moments' time. No doubt about this one, as now you see him dead ahead there of Yoan up into 3rd place, and might try and get, you know, the likes of Casper Flack and Sergio over the next couple of laps. You see them battling down towards the end of this lap, and now DRS we enabled come the end of this one. Once he crosses the line, as Felix One gets ahead of Neseki, and obviously that's a battle for points. 15 drivers we awarded points out of this one. So Lou, Killerstorm, and Pablo all maybe got to get a bit of a move on to have a bit of a chance getting points in this one. But at the moment, Gatkowski, fastest lap of this race, no surprise there. But Yoan close in behind, maybe wanting that position back, and it won't be all too long until those softs disintegrate, because they quite literally will. So quickly, these tyres will just fall apart, and you've got nothing left to fight with. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and you've got to be very, very, very careful here when doing anything like that. But nonetheless, a lot of pace left in those softs at this current moment in time. But Gatkowski needs to unleash it onto the race circuit sooner rather than later, and that CPI driver does need to get ahead of this top 2 shortly. But take his time, he definitely will, because he needs to try and eke the advantage out of these soft tyres for as long as he can, and as long as he dares. But nonetheless, down the straight we come, down the Las Vegas strip, and we're right on board actually with Gatkowski to see if he's gaining much of an advantage here as he heads past Caesar's Palace. You see there left, on the left, that is the Bellagio Hotel. And well, now continuing down the strip once more and towards the braking zone here. There's a change for the leaders. Casper Flack takes it, but in behind, Ethan versus Yoan. That's going to be a saucy battle as these two come side by side, and on the exit, Yoan coming together with the wall and with his compatriot Ethan there loses the place to Nico there as now they battle down into turn number 1. Can Ethan go for the re-overtake here? He thinks about it, but IRT Phil in the back trying to make the move there on Michelle XB. In fact, he's on the exit, nearly makes the move on Michelle XB, but not able to do it on that particular occasion. Takes the tighter line down the inside and now might be able to try and make the move here down as we head towards turn number 4. So this is a great opportunity for an overtake. Will it be a great opportunity for an overtake for IRT Phil? No, on that occasion tags the rear of Michelle XB and doesn't get it on that occasion as Niseki battles there with Felix 1, and Felix 1 looks to try and get this position and won't, and he's gone round, and that is disastrous for NLR with Felix 1 in a race where they need to score as many points as possible. And one of their drivers is at the back of this grid, 18th place for them. Not ideal start for them with the other one in 4th place. But Gatkowski lead CPI as things stand. But here we go. Casper Flack continues to lead this race, but Sergio in 2nd place. But now Gatkowski in 3rd, and that is a man who's going to be looking to make the overtake down the straight here. And well, DRS wide open, that rear wing really working for him. Can he get the double overtake? He's got Casper Flack. Can he get Sergio? Not on that occasion, but he is up into 2nd place there, comfortably ahead now of Casper Flack here, and will be now setting his sights after the 1 car left to overtake here in this race until he's leading it out in front. And that is Sergio there, but the battling behind not doing too bad either, with Ethan and Casper Flack very close together as well. But this entire field so close to one another as things stand. The train from up 1st all the way to 10th, looking very feisty as Katkowski pulls out the slipstream. Nothing to overtake though on that occasion, as that man knows that there wasn't much in the overtake there for him, but knows that in the next couple of laps that overtake will certainly come. But a small little mistake there into that braking zone at turn number 6, I believe, will certainly not be working too much for him, but oh well, I'm sure it's not going to be too much of a problem for him in this race, and will certainly be seeing if he can get this one to work and get, well, that DRS rear wing opening and ahead of Sergio here. You gain so much time down this straight with DRS versus someone who doesn't. You see, nearly a second back, but come the end of this straight, he'll be within about, well, 4 tenths of a second here, and well, yeah, exactly there, he's within about 4 tenths of a second. Come the end of the straight, so gaining about 6 tenths of a second with one straight without rear wing open. That advantage very much prominent there, but as much as he's gained a few places, unfortunately for him, he doesn't really seem to have got much pace left in these softs. He's 1.1 seconds slower than Sergio on that particular occasion, but we saw he was able to keep within that 1 second window, and as a result was towed down that main straight with a healthy, juicy advantage there. But nonetheless, he is not doing too badly in this race, is Gatkowski, but further in behind, keep an eye on all of these drivers. Nico, arguably a standout driver so far. He's had some very troublesome form, but nonetheless, he's not been doing a bad job for LDL in this championship. And, wow, it is not too bad at all. And, wow, he is certainly looking to maybe try and make a few moves in this race if possible, but someone who's also looking to try and make a few moves will be that of Gatkowski, who this time, last lap, was 4 tenths further behind than he is versus Sergio now, so might be able to get the overtake for the race lead here down into the final couple of corners. In fact, you see the advantage from that DRS so prominent, and you see there, as Gatkowski gets up into the lead, Sergio will settle for second, and Casper Flack thought about the overtake for third, but won't be able to get it, unfortunately, there. But he will now probably try and continue this battle further through the next couple of laps, because Casper Flack and Sergio are so matched on pace that you could pretty much you know, make them switch for hours upon hours on end, you know, and they would never manage to pull ahead of one another because they're so evenly matched at the moment in time. But Kasperfak looking slightly closer to the back of Gatkowski than it may be he would like. But here we are, lap 7 of 25. It won't be too long until we're getting those first pit stops going in this race, because if you want to know what it's like in terms of strategies around this circuit, well, no problem at all, because if you're looking, you know, to kind of properly understand it, well, you've only got 5 laps, you know, and just so difficult, you know, for you to actually get some good pace out of this. But a soft hard, pitting on about lap 10, so a couple laps to go for Gatkowski yet in this race. But Sergio gonna undoubtedly take the advantage, get the overtake done, and yes, Kasperfak do the same. That's not the soft tires going on, that's just the advantage of that rear wing being open as Johan gets ahead of Nico into 5th place. And he's had great pace in this race as Aguado does the same. So now all of a sudden, Nico has lost 2 places in a small sequence of this lap, and now loses out to Johan and Aguado. As Aguado actually thinks about the overtake on Johan there, so very nicely done. Runs wide on the exit does Johan, so unfortunately he's going to lose a bit of pace down this second straight here. With so many straight lines around the circuit, you can't really afford to have a poor exit at any of these corners around the lap here. But Ethan really looking quite close to the back of Gatkowski, as now Johan having to maybe put a bit more pressure down on his throttle pedal to try and keep close to the back of this field, as he nearly slipped down that 1 second window. We saw Ethan getting it all sideways and crossways on the exit there, as now they run down towards the end of sector 2 once again, and we're back on the Las Vegas Strip. And this is such an important part of this lap. It's why so many overtakes are able to happen around this track. It's because of this very tricky straight where you have to, you know, battle and decide whether you want to make the overtake there or whether you want to try and make it later on. You're able to get it out the exit of this DRS zone. It does certainly pay its dividends, but nonetheless, Johan continuing to stick behind. Kasperfak still in 2nd place. Gatkowski remains in 3rd place here. But Kasperfak really close to the back here of Sergio as they head through turn number 1 once again. Lap 9 of 25. Literally, we're expecting to see Gatkowski in within the next 1 or 2 laps, because if we don't see him into the pit lane very shortly, he's going to begin to lose a lot of the advantage that he's gained out of these soft compound tyres, but possibly he might be able to extend this stint based on the fact he's keeping very good pace with those on the soft compound tyres. Give him slightly fresher hards, which might work to his advantage later on in this race, but as to whether he has the grip and the pace to keep with these guys in front, as we have a yellow flag towards the back of the grid. That is Spin, who's had a bit of an incident there on the exit of turn number 1, and as a result lost a front wing end plate, and well, has continued along his merry way, but with a bit of damage, so we'll have to come into pit lane to change that. But nonetheless, lap 9 of 25, the action continuing around here at the Las Vegas Strip, but not looking too bad in the slightest, and well, it's just looking so good for this race. I mean, you just can't, you know, at the moment it's very up in the air as opposed to who is going to win this race. But down the straight once again, Kasperfak versus Sergio, and wow, look at the amount of drivers going side by side through here. Ethan, there's a massive crash in the back. What is that? That's a Guado for DLX there, and there's a virtual safety car that's come out here in this race, and there's, I believe, a slower Carl, I believe that's Inwa, who's gained the advantage here. If you're towards the back of the grid here, massive advantage to be had as both VMVs go into the pit lane. Surely, I would have expected to have seen a driver into the pit lane, but there again, the driver who could have benefited most out of this being Gatkowski. He won't gain any advantage out of this virtual safety car, unfortunately, because he's all the way up in third, went past the pit lane with plenty of time in hand, so he won't gain any advantage. Back to green flag running, and the VMVs gained plenty of advantage and time from that, but no one else was able to, as that's a pit lane retirement there for RVL. And well, you're going to see here Aguado, who's in 10th place. Well, he has no front wing on his car. He's going to lose so much time here. And well, his race is pretty much over, unfortunately for him. But the race is not over for the top few who continue the battle here. And well, the action ever closer. The top 9 are within 1 second of each other here. And one man is under a lot more pressure than the others. It's Sergio out in front, but Nico getting overtaken by Johan once again. We saw a 3-wide moment beginning lap number 10. And well, if there's another 3-wide moment going on to lap number 11, it might be a bit of a torrid time for some of these drivers if we keep losing, them going into braking zones and into corners like we saw there, keeping it nice and sensible here. No one side by side through there. Maybe for the safer side, is Aguado will peel off into the pit lane and very, very carefully and gingerly take that pit stop that they need to make in this race, but a lot earlier than they would have planned. No doubt about that one, but disappointing for sure for them. But Gatkowski in second place, Ethan in first, and now Sergio running in that third place position around here. The Las Vegas Strip coming alive with these Formula 1 cars. Well, no surprise, Sergio really continuing to apply the pressure as much as he can to the back of Gatkowski, because he knows that these soft compound tires, they're going to be feeling a lot worse for wear now. And well, all of a sudden, the advantage that he was able to maybe extract, it's going to dissipate a lot quicker. And Nico is getting clown horned if he's on the podium. Which I think is an interesting form of bribery, possibly. But Gatkowski, he's fallen out of DRS range here, and this is probably about the time where I think this man has got to come into the pit lane. He has not had the pace on this particular lap to keep with Ethan here, but maybe it might be able to be saved a little bit. But down to 4th place he goes, unfortunately, so I'm expecting to see him into the pit lane here as now Nico overtakes him up into 4th place. Gatkowski surely will come into the pit lane here because I believe there's a bit of carbon fibre. That's Johan for ETA, who's lost his entire front wing there, and will come into the pit lane to change that. So that's unfortunate there for ETA. They don't want to retire the Carlo because they know that if they do that, that is going to be absolute curtains for their chances of getting much better position in this championship. So just change the tyres and send him back out, knowing that, well, for him, he needs as many points as he can get for him and his team. Those medium tyres coming alive for VMV because there's a fastest lap they're going the way of Inwa as IRT Phil gets ahead of Michelle XP there, up into 6th place, and the action towards the top continuing as these drivers may fizzle out one by one. But nonetheless, this grid is going to be very, very condensed come the end of it, and especially if there is a safety car at any point in this race, that field condensed down to nothing. And when it is going to be so close, so dramatic. And yeah, I know it's a soundboard. Don't need to treat me like I'm a child. I do understand Discord, but lap 25, and Inwa ahead of Pablo there for 12th place, but the action continuing towards the top as Gatkowski is running in 5th place. Not a poor position for him to be in as Sergio gets back up into that 1st place that he's had for quite a bit of this race. And obviously it is where he started this race there with obviously Casper Flack in 2nd and Johan, who's down in 15th in 3rd. As you see another driver peel off into the pit lane, I believe that is that IRT Phil into the pit lane there. And that's interesting. A man on the hards is pitting for a man on the softs. Don't expect to see that very often. at all. That is very unexpected there. You wouldn't expect to see that in real life Formula 1. That'd be quite shocking if you did see it in real life Formula 1, to be fully honest with you. But keeping an eye on all this action, Gatkowski running in 4th place in this race on the soft tyres. He's probably getting a lot of advantage and can definitely go onto the set of medium tyres now. The optimal strategy for him would have been a soft hard, but because he's been able to keep the pace with these hard tyre runners, he has been able to definitely make this into a soft medium race, which could definitely be working to his advantage with him being able to keep the pace of these hard compound tyre runners. He could pit when they pit and pretty much continue to run, but if he gets a puncture at any point, which could definitely happen, do not expect it not to, because with the tyres definitely going to be as shot as they are, well, it will be feeling very second hand with, well, pretty much if you were on a set of soft tyres, well, they can only run about 13 laps until puncture, so he's really run to the end of this tyre's lifespan. In fact, he's going to come into the pit lane at long last. Nico, Gatkowski, and then Raphael into the pit lane, but Gatkowski, a mega stint here from him as Kasper also comes in there ahead of this pair. Pit stops galore here in Las Vegas, and well, tidy jobs obviously being done, and now they will all come back out into this race. And Mark Gatkowski, good strategy from him, I think. Good strategy indeed. He's certainly been able to get a good advantage and good pace out of those soft tyres. You see there, Johan, who changed his front wing. He's had a massive undercut here. He's got up into pretty much towards where he was in this race, and not bad at all for him. But obviously those tyres going to hurt a bit more towards the end of this race. But Ethan, Sergio and Michelle XP still out in front by IRT Phil in 4th place, likely to gain quite a good advantage here out of that, because the pit lane lost time will certainly have him tipped to take the lead when these top 3 come into the pit lane here. Should be in the next lap, I would have suspected here, but nonetheless, the action going to continue plenty. IRT currently will sit 1 and 2 in this race, if I'm not mistaken. IRT Phil, I believe, yet to pit, if I remember rightly. He started on the medium compound tyres. His teammate let through there very nicely there by IRT, and Phil settling in behind for that 2nd place. As I said, I believe he's yet to come into the pit lane in this race, and if he is, no surprise. And well, you want tyres? I'll give you tyres in this race, but there you go. And I was wrong. To be fair, it's a, wow, IRT 1-2 once Sergio comes into this pit lane. Well, if you want your current tyre compounds, that is how things shape up. Most drivers opting for the medium compound tyres, that's to be expected. And well, only drivers you're likely to see go on to set the softs, I think, is going to be Sergio, who obviously currently leads the race, but only 13 seconds behind him is Kasper Flack, who will inherit the lead of this race, no doubt about that one. But we are here at lap 15 of 25, and with 11 laps to go in this one, things are going to begin to heat up at some point in this one. Felix won there, down in 14th, battling with Michelle XB, and losing out on that occasion is Felix 1, but he's yet to pit in this race. Obviously, he had that incident earlier on in the race, and that obviously meant that he did come in, did have, lose a lot of places in this race, and that was not the start that NLR needed to this race. Unfortunately for him, not got his way. But on lap 15 of 25, that is it. Sergio is in for ETA, and he will lose plenty of places, but will have possibly an overcut to work on, because that now he will be able to utilise those fresher tyres towards the end of this race. Those around him tyres maybe a few laps older, so Might be able to eke out the advantage there, but as things stand, he's got a lot of work to do in this race. Comes out 2.5 seconds behind Ethan there, who's in 8th place, so not too bad as he battles with Inwa over 7th and 8th, and well, Ethan comes out the better on that occasion, but IRT 1 and 2, they're a team that are gonna dearly want to take that home with them come the checker flag. Wow, this race going to continue to hot up over the next couple of laps, and Gatkowski now has to try and chase after this top two. But these top two, Casper and Phil, they can work together here very, very nicely to try and eke out every ounce of advantage here that they possibly can. As you'll see, IRT Phil will lose the place, but immediately tuck him back to that slipstream and get towed along by his teammate, and they'll continue to work on that very, very nicely if they can. But Nico gets up into 3rd place. If he's on this podium, well, the Discord air horn sound effect will definitely come into play, but he needs to try and get within this DRS range if he wants anything more than a P3 spot, because right now he's just a 10.5 off of it, but if he's able to get it, it could work greatly to his benefit there as Johan sits the fastest lap, followed by Ethan there. It's a great pace from those two for NNR and ET8 respectively, and well, IRT obviously wanting to try and get every bit of pace out of this one, and well, if they're able to, it will be a great race to get a 1-2 out. There's 1.2 seconds separating Nico and those behind, but you see the slight rear end step for Phil there, and that might just invite, in fact it has just about invited Nico into the 1 second window, but it's very much on the edge. So unfortunately, Nico is going to need a little bit more battery deployed, a little bit more pace possibly, to guarantee himself that DRS. A bit of a mistake there by looking at it on the exit there for Nico. Possibly, maybe it won't work to his advantage, but I believe he's got DRS, which is crucial for Nico in his race. He's going to gain so much pace versus this top few. If he's able to continue eking that out lap after lap, that is a man who you can definitely now train. You can now count into the battle for the race lead. So that'll invite Nico, Gatkowski, Raphael, Johan, and Ethan all into this battle for what could be the race lead here around the Las Vegas circuit here. And well, what a circuit it is, a hybrid circuit, part of this being a permanent facility, and the half being obviously part-time, and only ran for the purposes of the race weekend. Obviously the Las Vegas Strip can't have that 24/7 for reserved for F1 cars, so timing's very important for that. But Nico really trying to mount the pressure towards this top two now. He's within 5/10 of a second now of Casper Flack, who sits in that second place. IRT, if they just not had that mistake from IRT Phil on the exit of this very corner, we could be looking at a very different race, because now all of a sudden it's invited Nico and it's invited this training, and IRT having to do maybe just that little bit more to eke out this advantage and get a good race out of this one. But doing a good job as things stand are IRT to keep things in check and keep what is the chance of a race win in alive for them. So not doing too badly at all, but nonetheless looking very, very good around here. But it's about time that we got some more action in the next couple of laps. Nico now 2.5 tenths off the back of IRT Phil, and if he keeps continuing to keep very, very close, it'll be a different end to this race than what they would have wanted. So now we progress through. It is lap number 19 of 25. There's your left leg in sector 3. That is for Felix 1, who's had an off there towards the final bend as he lost a front wing. And that is a suspicious hit into the wall. And another suspicious hit into the wall. And wow, that was a very interesting incident there. I wonder if that was in any way deliberate. I just know what goes on in these drivers' minds when they do that. You just cannot write that in the slightest. The most scripted thing I think I've ever possibly seen in a race to try and advantage himself and cause a safety car. What? Okay. Right. That's definitely probably going to the stewards. Interesting. Here we are though. Laps 19 of 25. And Nico continuing to battle here with Casper Flack and IRT Phil. In fact, he's just got one of the IRTs. He's got ahead of Phil, but a slight step on the rear then means he loses out to IRT Phil and Gatkowski. Now to Raphael. Can Ethan try and get himself involved in this as well? No, he can't, unfortunately, but battle continuing down towards turn number 1. You see there, now IRT Phil on the defense versus Gatkowski. This is a battle really beginning to widen and open up here as Nico now battles there with Raphael, but he's leaving himself susceptible here to Ethan, who's in behind 6th place here. He's Ethan for NLR, a team that want to try and get a good result out of this one to take the champion, well, to try and continue their championship fight for another round versus CPI, and if they're able to, then they can certainly, see what they can do in this final round. But unfortunately for them, it is not looking likely as now Nico continues to battle here. He wanted to try and get that podium place. He's lost out, unfortunately, when battling with the IRTs, but now he's going to be dearly trying to get back involved in that battle. But now you see Ethan trying to go round the outside as they head down towards the braking zone here of turn number 11, but unfortunately won't come to anything for them in that particular occasion for Ethan. But now down this DRS straight, when that rear wing opens shortly, it is possibly Ethan's to make that overtake, and he has made that overtake on Nico here. And now the change for the lead between those two IRTs has happened once again. No surprises there, though, because they have been doing that all race long, and now all of a sudden, the race continuing to open up, and, interesting stuff going on in this race. As Omar says in the chat, crash gate, and I'm, honestly, what an interesting incident that was, but this race still going to be very, very interesting, irrespective of that. Fortunately, it didn't cause an incident, which I think is probably the best scenario. Just such an interesting race we're having here around the Las Vegas Strip. This desert of a circuit has just been so good. And 3 places lost for nothing in the case of Nico. And yeah, you got to agree. But IRT Phil drifting. What? I mean, fair play. That's some brilliant. I mean, get that man on a rally game. Casper Flack drifting through that section like it's WRC. I mean, wow. Beautifully held, and well, didn't lose a place to Gatkowski. Lost a lot of time to his teammate, but crucially, not enough that he's going to fall susceptible to anyone in behind. So very, very nicely done from Casper Flack, because actually not too bad as Nico there gets back ahead of NLR Ethan up into 5th place in this race now, as the battle will continue actually down towards the final corner, as now you see Sergio getting ahead there of Ethan, and well, on the exit, Sergio nicely gotten that overtake done, but will have a slightly slower exit as a result, might fall susceptible to Ethan down into towards turn number 1 as Gatkowski battles here with Casper Flack, but doesn't make the overtake and lunge into turn number 1, and neither does Ethan on Sergio here. ETA not having as good of a race as they might have wanted. They started 1st and 3rd, but nonetheless, not having a terrible time, but great stuff for him, and it's great to see the drifting from Casper there, but now having to think probably a bit more about not having that happen in future, because that is one way to absolutely kill your tyres. get a lot of wear on them, and well, he did lose a heap load of time, and if he's to do that again one too many times, and well, you would certainly be looking at losing places to the likes of Gatkowski and Raphael, who are in behind and very close in this train of cars here, as you see them all filter through turn number 11 once more. This DRS straight is going to provide so many opportunities for these cars once again. And I have no idea if I could not. I've just distracted myself temporarily. I have no idea if he's watching, but I was with my boyfriend earlier, and he's just come out to his mum, and it's gone really well. So congratulations to him. I'm going to announce it on a live stream. Why the hell not? But the battle is continuing as I've completely thrown my own train of thought here. Castleflag leads ahead of IRT Phil. Gatkowski in third, Raphael fourth, Sergio in fifth, Nico sixth, Ethan in seventh, Johan eighth, ninth for Michelle XB, and Inwa in 10th. And he is watching. So I just embarrassed this man. And I've been told that no one cares. So that's nice. Thank you very much, Harvey, for that, because that's very nice of you. Gatkowski, though, getting up into third place there ahead of Raphael. And, well, the battle continuing here very, very nicely. Him versus Sergio here. What? Oh, my, what in the world has just happened there? I have seen a car go vertical. A junior Formula car has been made. What has happened? Someone is going to clip that. I hope. But what? This race could not throw up any more surprises, even if it tried to. But Gatkowski in the hunt for this race lead is there. You see IRT Phil, Casper Flack also there, and also in the battle there, Ethan, Raphael, Johan, and Nico, who's lost a few places there. And he's lost many places there versus those couple of drivers. But Raphael will also lose a place there versus Ethan. But the drag race will continue down the straight once more. Fourth there for Raphael. Johan up into fifth versus Ethan. And now this battle will continue. Can Johan go for the dive down the inside into turn number one? No, but it will continue the battle with Ethan there instead. And now he will continue this battle round. Can he hold it round the outside? Surely he won't try. Yes, he absolutely does. ETA, they might not be getting the best of results here, but he can certainly hold it round the outside. Absolute balls of steel to try and do that one. As there's the yellow flag in behind. Who is that that's caused that on that occasion? No idea. I cannot see who's caused that. So someone has definitely lost the front wing. And if that is anyone, I believe that's Aguado there, but it is not Aguado. In fact, it is, I believe, Felix One, who's learning some lapped. He's getting himself lapped there, but obviously has fresh tyres to set that fastest lap time in this race. But I will let plenty of cars through the yellow flags being waved there for that. But this race will continue. But I love that. The amount of stuff going on in this chat is just so crazy. The front three are so close together, and I just, what is going on? I mean, just what? Top three so close together. IRT Phil versus Gatkowski. Casper Flack as well. The final lap begins here around the Las Vegas Strip. 3.8 miles to go around here. And well, once the end of this one, it could be a very different result. IRT seeking a 1-2 finish, but Gatkowski trying to ruin it and get a CPI, a championship that they want and have been fighting for since the very start. Gatkowski, he hasn't raced for a long while, but that man, he has returned, and he is returning to form. He's picking up where he left off. He might pick up on the podium, but he might. But what step of it is, it's a complete another question. But looking behind, ETA are trying to close. EPL in that battle too, as Nico, Sergio, Michelle XB. No, Michelle XB is not involved in this particular battle, but he's there in a ninth place. But this battle for the race win, these top three so close together. And well, if they were any closer, you might begin to wonder if an incident is going to happen between these top three. But there you see Gatkowski playing it smart, playing it cool. Stay cool, Felipe. This man wants to try and take this championship, and he needs to keep it cool-headed in the cockpit if he wants any chance of doing that. But now he will try the drag race down the straight once more. He has the overspeed. He has the battery. He has the advantage. That man has the advantage into the braking zone. He leads the race on the final lap. Now, coming around the final couple of bends here, unless IRT, Phil, or Casper Van can do anything, it is Gatkowski's to win. And it will be Gatkowski's to win. CPI, they haven't taken to the top step for a long, long while. But in Las Vegas, they have delivered. Viva Las Vegas and Viva CPI. They take, I believe, the championship there, with NLR having a poor race and a poor outing here. But IRT, what a race for them. Second and third, a double podium. Raphael in fourth place. Ethan in fifth. Owen in sixth place there. Nico seventh. 8th for Sergio, 9th for Michelle XB, Aguado 10th, Miseki in 11th, Inwa 12th, 13th there going for the way of Lou, Nassim and Killer Storm in 14th and 50th there as they cross the line. I believe no penalties awarded in this race, and CPI double champions there, and just what is going on? What a race that was. I need to pull this top three in for the interview. I need Gatkowski in this one because well, I need Gatkowski. I need your podium as well of Phil and Casper Flack. And we'll get them in. And we'll get them in, hopefully, for an interview. So I actually joined a Discord call right at the death of this one. But here we are. Your race classification. Gatkowski takes the win. Casper back in second. Third place for IRT. Phil. Raphael fourth. Ethan in fifth. Johan sixth. 7th for Nico, 8th Sergio, 9th for Michelle XB, Aguada in at 10th, Miseki in 11th, 12th for Inwa, 13th for Lou, Nassim in 14th, Killer Storm 15th, 16th Pablo, Phoenix 1 in 17th, and your one DNF of Fana Spin there in 18th place, and obviously not being classified, but CPI are your champions. And hopefully we'll get an interview from them. Well, Gatkowski has, funny enough, said no to an interview, which is not very nice. So, yeah, a little on the upset side about that. But, nonetheless, what a race that one was. I mean, just, where do you begin to unpack that one? But, let's take... And give it a shot in a couple of seconds. Time is hopefully not going to be... Oh, well, that would certainly be a good start if I had the webcam loaded. That would certainly help. There we go. My hair looks horrible. Like, genuinely horrible. But, what a race. And what a season. And it's CPI. Obviously, you take that championship. But IRT, honestly, had a great race here as well. Second and third for them. And well, just a great time for them. But we'll get Casper in for a podium interview. And obviously, well, good race for them. And here we are. Got Casper in the interview room. And well, it was a great race for you guys.
Yeah. It really was, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great race for you guys and the team. Obviously, maybe a bit of an interesting one. You guys haven't necessarily had the best season at points, but you kind of really delivered towards the end of this season, and have looked in great form recently. Obviously, there's a big battle heating up between you and ETA and other teams around you. Are you confident you'll be able to either move up or stay where you are?
I think we can definitely get P2. I think we outscored ETA today We outscored NLR. I think we outscored all our rivals. I think we even got the most points this race as a team. So yeah, I'm confident we can get P2 here in the championship.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. NLR obviously, they needed to try and outscore CPI by 24 points to keep in the championship hunt. Obviously, they weren't able to do that tonight, and obviously that does mean CPI are the champions. But obviously, your third place as it stands likely to gain points definitely on LLR, so might even be second coming out of this round. ETA had a bit of a disappointing race, so that does take them out of contention a little bit. But in those final few laps, were you a little bit worried about? Obviously, I know your ERS management maybe wasn't necessarily the best towards those final few laps. Was that maybe a cause for concern and maybe held you back a bit?
Yeah, I was definitely concerned about my ERS, but once Phil pitted in lap 12, I pitted lap 13. I think we tried to break out of DRS, but that wasn't going to happen. So we were both flashing in lap 15, 16. So
In qualifying, that is true. That did happen. Doesn't make it any less my favourite circuit on the calendar, but we have to lose. Are you confident you can make them lose that second place?
Depends which driver they are let run in the lineup for Brazil. No, I don't know who's racing in Brazil for us, but we've had PSG a few, I think Monday, yeah. Was also Brazil, so I think everyone should be, no matter who drives, everyone should be on pace. Yeah, I expect some really good times and really good fighting. Brazil is an awesome track. Maybe with the weather again, we'll mix things up. But yeah, I'm confident that we can fight for P2 and take it.
Fighting words indeed. Well, I mean, the final couple of laps as well, your teammate obviously had quite low battery. A bit worried that you maybe could have slipped further behind, especially with ETA and Johan closing in very quickly. Were you a bit worried you could slip off the podium, or were you pretty sure you were going to stay on it?
I mean, after I think on lap 22 or 21, the guys in P4 had battles and suddenly they were 3 seconds behind. When we exited the pits and 2 or 3 laps in and we lost the 1 second gap to the guys behind, it was all to play for. Vegas is a track. If you're not 2 seconds quicker a lap, then there's no chance you're gonna break the DRS. So even if you're on P6, you still have a shot on the win with low wings. And Kaget, for example, with he showed that he was in P3 with fairly low wings. I was in P2 with very high wings. Yeah, and he got P1 in the end. Yeah, but yeah, when they made mistakes, I was pretty sure we are at least in for a podium. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, great stuff indeed. Obviously, it'd be great to see what you guys can do when we head to Brazil next round. But thank you very much for joining for just a quick interview, just a quick run through those final couple of laps. But good podium, great result for the team, and definitely puts you in good fighting form with NLR. So best of luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Right, well, that just about does us for all of the interviews tonight. Thank you very much to everyone who has joined us, done an interview and spoken to us this evening. Next time out, we head to Brazil for the season finale. We'll start 1 hour earlier. We'll start at 7 p.m. versus 8 p.m. for that race. That's the final race of this season. And once we head there, once the checkered flag falls, that is season 3. Finished, done and dusted once more. But it has been a season of pure drama, so much fun, so many vibes along the way. But this will be my final cast for this season. I'm not here next week, but you'll be in the capable hands of Logan for the final race of this season. But when we head back for season 4 here, trust me, it is going to be an absolute barnstormer. But still got 1 round to go. But until then, bye-bye. We'll head to Las Vegas in 1 week's time. Do not miss it. This one, there's plenty of places up for grabs still. The championship might be secure. CPI have taken that, but places up for grabs. IRT want that second place, but there are plenty other teams who want that second place too. But until next time, bye-bye.